The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. Wishing he had a mulligan. That's not how you want to start the game.
Not at all, because not only do you give up the penalty and good field position, but it just kills the momentum of your team as you start a game.
A run with Harris out of the shotgun. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
Oh, that's a very good run there by Najee Harris, who can take it inside. He can get to the perimeter. He can do it all with his build and his speed. This is a guy coming out of Alabama who did everything for the Crimson Tide. That's why Pittsburgh took him in the first round. Last in the league in rushing as a team last year were the Steelers. They're expecting Harris to kickstart their running game.
Harris. And he's going to be met at about the 43. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run. But for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
2nd and 7. And now the Lions going to stop us momentarily as they call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. 2nd down and 7. Here's Darnold. He gets this one to Johnson. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. Darnold from the gun. The completion good. This is Eric Ebron. And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They hand this off to Harris. And he's got some space here. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. 40 yards rushing for him now on just his first 3 carries. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
Throwing quickly, Darnold, that's complete. And in for the Steelers, touchdown. Chase Claypool, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers have taken a first quarter lead. Had the option there, read it perfectly, and an easy little touchdown toss.
And it has to be a sharp throw, too, because of where they are on the field, the extra traffic, things are condensed near the goal line. Good route by the receiver as well.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. From the end zone comes Chris Claybrooks to return. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Now gone. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick. What a start defensively. Your offense goes out, gets the touchdown, and then you get the interception. Just perfect.
How about the discipline that they showed on defense? Because after the offense scored to go up 7-zip, you would think they might be a little extra aggressive trying to get back at them. Instead, they read their keys well. When they took the shot downfield, they were more than prepared for that one.
After the interception, here's Darnold. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down. Faking the give, Darnold. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down.
And I could see the officials kind of looking at each other down there, silently wondering, does this meet the level of grounding? Fortunately, he did have a receiver in the area, but I have seen less obvious throwaways called as penalties.
On 2nd and 10, Darnold. That is caught. It's Juju for the Steeler touchdown. Juju Smith-Schuster, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers lead this now 13-0 here in the opening quarter of the ball game. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And it's now 14-0. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. From the end zone comes Chris Claybrooks to return. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they come into play here 2-6 on the year. And I guess if you're them, you have to have the mindset of, hey, if we go 7-1, 8-0 down the stretch, we can still get into the playoffs. But CD, to be frank, I don't know that they've shown that they're capable of that this season.
Well, I certainly hope they have that mindset and that they're trying to play to that. But in my mind, from what I've seen, they've got no shot at doing that. This is going to be a tough second half. They've had so many injuries. They've had tough losses along the way. I think you've got guys playing for jobs for next year, and they're playing for positioning in the upcoming draft.
The first carry now for the BYU man. It's Jamal Williams. T.J. Watt in on the tackle. This defense for the Steelers, they put together a strong effort last week in the win over Chicago.
And one of the key things you always look for when you're evaluating a defense is how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get per game? And how about last week's game? That number, 6. Absolutely phenomenal performance. They were on top of their game right from the first snap.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But I believe the line was there to recover it. Yes, they will indeed keep possession. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
And his first carry, he loses the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And they're going to be set up in the red zone at the 15. And hopefully for both sides, not a sign of things to come, Charles. This morning, it was so perfect outside, but we knew this weather was coming, and now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. And the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
The NFC's Pro Bowl punter a year ago, Jack Fox, on to punt for the Lions. Ray McCloud deep for Pittsburgh. A 40-yard punt, 1 yard on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. 5-3, their record at the halfway point. And you have to imagine that there are folks saying, hey, if we do that again in the second half, we're 10-6 and we're a playoff team.
I do think, though, that they have a couple things working against them. And number one, the schedule, that's going to toughen up a bit because they've got some division games down the stretch, and those are always difficult. Number two, you know they've got to stay healthy. That's the key to getting to the playoffs and winning in the playoffs. But they've got a shot at it. This is a good football team.
Back to throw, Darnold. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd down. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
And darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down. That muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. Now it's Darnold. Flushed out right. And that is incomplete.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
Barry on to punt as he gets this one away. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially, and the Lions will take over. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they had lost 2 in a row prior to getting the open week last weekend, so potentially a chance for them to get away for a bit, keel up, and come back strong.
That's what the hope is anyway, because you're going to find out now with your team, are you still focused on being the best you can be for the rest of the season with the things going the way they have earlier this year?
On 2nd and 9, Goff. And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
Throwing on 3rd, Goff. He's going to fire deep for Ratley. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now, give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
The scoreboard tells a story for them, a little bit bleak, and while it's not quite desperation time yet, it's definitely getting close, but the defense reads the scoreboard as well. They're going to back up and make them really earn it.
Here's Jack Fox now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. McCloud to return it. 39 yards on the punt, just 2 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? He said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. 4 receivers in the formation here. 3 to the left, 1 to the right. 2nd and 3. Darnold. Complete. It's Johnson. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Now a first down carry for Harris. And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49. 59 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries. All right, I got to ask you, with these RPOs, essentially the quarterback has 3 options, right? So what's different from that versus the triple option that we see the service academies run at the college level?
As a general rule, the triple option at the college level, most things are called outside of the quarterback faking it to the runner and then keeping it himself and maybe having a trail back. What I mean is, in the NFL, that option to throw the football all comes about organically. It's a natural deal based on reads. In college, if you're going to throw the football off a triple option, you've actually called that play.
Only needing 2 yards on 2nd down. On the give, this is Harris. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. Here's Darnold. That's swung out wide to Harris. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup, and that'll make it 3rd down.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
Off of play action, Darnold. He gets it complete to Harris. And he will have a Steelers first down. They needed 4. He doubled that. He wound up getting 8. That one goes for 8 yards. On 1st and 10, Darnold. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock. Eric Ebron, the big tight end, is intended target. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Again, Darnold. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left. They were looking for Johnson that time, and it's 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions. 3rd down here in 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier.
And this is going to be intercepted. picked off by a Fitu Melifonwu. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
Boy, that's the kind of interception that can save a game right there. They're already down 2 scores. Huge play, slowing down what was going against them.
I was thinking the same thing. You get down 3 scores there at this stage, could be in for a long ball game. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they'll begin inside their own 10, so field position certainly not in their favor here. The final shot before break here. Goff. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. And it looks like Steeler football. It is. So we reach halftime here in the Steel City with the Steelers on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
These two teams making their last-minute adjustments. The second half coming your way from Pittsburgh. And to bring it to you, we go back to Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. From the end zone comes Chris Claybrooks to return. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. And what's the game plan, Charles, for the second half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people will think losing equals passing the ball more, but I'd establish the running game. They kind of went away from it in the first half. I think if they get back in balance, it'll help them when they put the ball back in the air.
Here's 2nd and 10. Back to throw, Goff. And that's to Amon-Ra St. Brown. And he is out of bounds right around the 34. He was held without a catch in the first half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a first down. Goff now looks to throw. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
Couple of first downs right in succession, and this is an offense that could really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here.
Now a first down throw, Goff. And now another turnover as this one's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Lane. There he goes right side. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. From the end zone comes Chris Claybrooks to return. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. A play fake to Gurley. Now Goff. He's going to fire deep for Ratley. And this is incomplete. Oh, he looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. They'll try and pick up the first with Gurley. I don't think Gurley got there. Looks like the defense held him back. That'll bring up fourth. They had the 8-yard gain on first down, but unable to do much from there. Here comes the Lions punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. Fair catch called for and made, but now we'll have to see about the penalty. Well, that was pretty obvious. He didn't let him catch it.
Agreed, and what's hard is you make that long run downfield to try and cover it, but you got to locate the football as well.
A lack of discipline defensively on fourth down, and now that leads to a 1st and 10. They run with Harris. Trey Flowers there on the tackle. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. A play fake, and it's Darnold. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
Well, the great coaches said football's really a simple game. Rush theirs, protect yours. And he's talking about those guys throwing the football. In this situation, the rush won, hitting the quarterback and forcing him into an incompletion.
Play action. It's Darnold. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Trey Flowers able to record his 5th sack of the season. They tried to go with a little play action there, but nobody on the defensive side bit.
Yeah, they adjusted in time and in a big way and ultimately got the sack. On offense, sometimes you're running play action just to set up a certain blocking technique. In this case, none of it worked.
They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and out will come the offense as they take over. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. On first down, it's Goff. And yet again, Goff is intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Joe Schobert. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown. He is a difference maker at the linebacker position. He had a pick 6 last year, remember it. But it's different for those guys, isn't it, than a corner or a safety?
It certainly is, because sometimes they're pattern reading, seeing what the receivers are doing. Sometimes they're spot dropping, just getting to a place on the field and finding the quarterback and going to the ball. But remember this, these linebackers, at one time in their life, a lot of them were running backs. And they love having the ball back in their hands and making big moves towards the end zone.
And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. Back to the ground, this time with Gurley. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. A nice job there as he rumbles for 9. And it'll be back to a 3rd and 3. Again they run with Gurley. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. Here comes the Lions punter now as he's on here to punt it away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They're just looking for more of the same. Great first half so far. Good second half. And sometimes, I guess, maybe, Charles, these coaches, they don't have to tell these guys much when they're rolling like they're rolling right now.
You're exactly right. I've heard stories of some of the best coaches in our time or any time having grabbed their staffs at halftime and said, guys, they're playing really well. Don't go in there and give them a whole lot of stuff. Just pat them on the back. And essentially the speech at halftime is, let's go, guys, and that's it.
Yeah, no one's upset the apple cart so far. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Throwing here on 3rd down, Darnold. Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. A Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards. A shotgun snap for Darnold. Open man, completes it to Claypool. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A good pickup there at 22. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 36. Now a give, running left is Harris. And a solid run down inside the 30. 78 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Romeo Okwara in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
Well, nothing takes a start to have a good drive quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Short little throw to Ebron. And a good tackle there right around the 30. Stops him short of the first down. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down. And Boswell has this one going left. No good. He missed it left. And this score will stay right where it is. Well, they can probably live with that with this late lead in the 4th quarter. That's one of the few things that's gone wrong.
You're exactly right. This one was well in hand. That kick there was more for cosmetics, to add to their score. Not getting it, that shouldn't harm them at all.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Eight yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple. From the gun, here's Goff. And his pass is intercepted for the fourth time today. Picked off by Justin Lane. This spot in the fourth quarter with that deficit, had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it. But as you noted, this time of the game, this point on the clock, had to throw it.
A nice-looking play to start the drive down the middle and complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. The catch and run, good for 24 yards. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now Darnold. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Johnson. And the Steelers are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They've got it 1st and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Now, CD, there didn't seem to be much resistance there down near the goal line.
Yeah, partner, from what I saw there, not a real good job of matching up defensively because to me, they look like they were just in their base 3-4 package. You need bigger bodies in there in a goal line type situation. The 3-4 fine between the 20s, but not down here when you're guarding your end zone.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. From the end zone comes Chris Claybrooks to return. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They were coming off the extra week of rest, but this team started sluggish, and it really didn't get any better from there. And trailing big here in this fourth quarter. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
A 3rd down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. Now Goff will hand this one to Gurley. And he will not make it to that imaginary yellow line as they get him to the ground at about the 23. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to 4th down. So this one in the win column for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing,